edition.
Welcome back, baby. Knicks Daily Edition. Yeah, we got to bring LeBron James to the front of the congregation today.
You bald-headed demon.
Show some.
Because you ever notice how NBA stars, led by LeBron James himself today, seem to have a real problem with the past? Like, why is there such a desperate need to rewrite or revise or straight up erase what came before you? Why the obsession? Why the obsession with reshaping narratives? Trying to dim the lights on the Jordan era and acting like anything before 2003 was filmed in black and white on VHS. It's not just petty. I can see it's strategic because deep down they know the numbers don't add up. They know that the rings don't stack. They know that the dominance can't be replicated. So what do? You gotta pivot. They launch a PR campaign. They downplay the physicality. Media people too, all get them together, the JJs, the Steve Nashes. They mock the old school skill set. They discredit the competition and then turn documented greatness into convenient revisionism. And nobody leads that movement louder than your boy LeBron James. He's the king of carefully curated stats, self-made narratives, and that look at what I've done in year 21 victory lap. But the truth, the real truth, the only thing LeBron is the goat of is insecurity. Jordan didn't beg for validation. Kobe didn't need a debate show army. Bill Russell didn't whine about who had better help. They just won over and over again. That's why we got to keep the truth front and center. Gen Z, y'all coming up. For every kid thinking the NBA started with Instagram edits or super teams, we need to shine light on the giants who built the foundation. Patrick Ewing, Hakeem, Malone, Stockton, Barkley, Reggie, real ones, all in the 90s. Men who battled greatness in an unforgiving era where nothing was handed out for likes. And to the older generation, they needed work. So today we're gonna set the record straight. We're gonna start by honoring my boy Patrick Ewing. Not as a meme, not as a footnote, but as the all-time great he was, because even young Knicks fans talk about Scottie Pippen dunking on him. Or MJ, beating him, or, he really couldn't get past MJ. Y'all don't know. Y'all have zero context about who this dude is. Especially if you're a fan of the Knicks. You let other fans say he didn't win a ring. He got dumped on by Pippen. Jordan owned him. That's surface level stuff. Go back and watch. Because what you don't know is Patrick was a walking fortress. He became finesse. He became an offensive weapon, all while carrying the New York franchise through the most brutal era of basketball. Do you realize how tough that is? So that's why I want to talk about the big fella real quick. Put some respect on his name when you see him walk into the arena. That man was one of the most feared defenders in the 90s. Before the braids, before the headbands, before the Instagram edits. Being a dominant big man meant two things. You protected the paint like it was sacred ground. And you weren't afraid to foul someone hard enough to make them think about a career change. Patrick Ewing owned the paint. 11-time All-NBA, 11-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA second team, 3-time All-NBA defensive second team. The man as a center averaged 21 points, 10 rebounds, 2.5 blocks. He was feared, bruh. Every player who went to Madison Square Garden, they knew they'd be battered and bruised before the final buzzer rang. He didn't just block shots either. He sent messages. He didn't just contest, he deterred. His footwork and his timing made him more than just a mountain in a lane. He was a surgeon on defense. And let's talk about how you change your game in the NBA. The man kicked from college as a shot blocker and left as a shot maker. Patrick Ewing came into the league in 1985 looking like a defensive juggernaut from Georgetown. And he was. But what made him legendary was how he evolved his game. And by the early 1990s, this 7-foot bruiser developed a deadly 15 to 18-foot jumper, The silky smooth turnaround fadeaway and reliable free throw shooting, 74%. And a high IQ pick and pop game that made him a threat even in the late parts of his career. And in today's world, we clown Ben Simmons for being a 6'10" point guard, afraid to shoot. Ewing? He was a 7-footer who developed the jumper in an era of post-ups, when that was king. He didn't just add tools to his toolbox, he rebuilt the whole damn shed, and he adapted. And he did it while still carrying the Knicks on his massive shoulders. So what are we talking about? We talking about rings, we talk about, the ring thing. Yeah, he didn't win one, but let's be serious. He lost to Michael Jordan's Bulls, 6-time champions. He lost to Hakeem Olajuwon's Rockets in 7 games, arguably the most skilled center ever. He lost to Reggie Miller's Pacers. It was an emotional coin flip series. Anyone could have won that series. The man even had to battle Shaq and Mourning in the latter parts of his career. There was 0 let up. So not getting a ring in that context is like being a great band that never went platinum because the Beatles and Prince dropped albums every summer. What are you talking about? So what are you saying when you say that? You need to be asking yourself, what made him top 50? What made him top 75 all time? Two-way dominance did. Ewing wasn't just a scorer, he was a scorer and a defender. That man by himself brought back relevance to New York. And he did it for 17 seasons, most of them being the centerpiece of an Eastern Conference contender. Talk about his impact, he was the reason Knicks basketball was relevant in the 90s. MSG became known for electricity because of 33. He carried mediocre rosters deep into the playoffs before LeBron did. He battled Shaq, Hakeem, David Robinson, and Mutombo night after night, all while being double and triple teamed on offense, and he still produced. If Patrick Ewing were a combination of 3 modern players today, these are the 3 players he would be. Let me chef this up real quick here in Knicks Deli.
Knicks Deli edition.
He'd be Bam Adebayo, defensive versatility and mobility. Like Bam, Ewing could guard the paint, but switch onto forwards and contest shots. Both are mobile bigs who rely on footwork and intelligence. Next, we're going to sprinkle a little bit of Brook Lopez in there. Rim protection and jump shot evolution. Y'all say Brook Lopez, Lopez was once a back-to-the-basket scorer. Then he added a jump shot to remain relevant. Ewing invented that survival blueprint decades earlier. And then I'm going to put a heavy dose of Joel Embiid, touch, mid-range ability. Embiid is more powerful, but the way he uses his size and finesse in the mid-range is very Ewing-esque. Both have the high-release jumper and the soft touch. So if you built a player out of Bam's mobility, Lopez's shooting evolution, and Embiid's touch and footwork, you've got modern-day Patrick Ewing. For you Gen Zers who really can't, you see the current Ewing and his retired self, and you're like, Ewing. No. If Ewing were drafted in 2025, let's pretend this. Patrick Ewing is 20 years old and coming into the league right now. What does he bring? 1, he's going to bring elite defense from day 1. He'd anchor a defense like Rudy Gobert, but with more agility. Think about that. 2, reliable mid-range game. Think about Jaren Jackson Jr. with more polish. 3, work ethic, basketball IQ, franchise cornerstone. Leadership, serious, hardworking, drama-free, but instantly changes your culture. And what would he average in today's NBA? 23 points per game, 10 rebounds, 2.5 blocks, about 1 3-pointer made, maybe 34%. All NBA defense, NBA level ceiling performance. He'd be unstoppable in drop coverage, and his mid-range jumper will make him a nightmare in pick and roll sets. Think what the Bucks run for Giannis, but with better touch and less reliance on athleticism. He'd also feast in small ball matchups. Y'all are playing games. No one's putting 6'8" centers on that man and surviving. So this message, I gotta put this message out to y'all Gen Z fans, especially Knicks fans. Before the memes, there was dominance. Before the jokes, there was respect. Before the dunks on him, he was the fortress, which was why they tried. Patrick is a foundational part of Knicks history and NBA history. He didn't need a ring to validate his greatness. His game tape, impact, resume, they all do that for him. And if he were playing today, he'd be an all-NBA anchor, blending old school toughness with modern day skill. Put some respect on his name and learn about him so that you can stop people from disrespecting who don't know. Put in the comment section if you agree, if you learn something new, or if you disagree and there's something that you want to add. Because friend or foe, we want the smoke. But remember this, whether it's out there in the real world or here in these YouTube streets, here at Knicks Deli, baby,
everybody eats.
And I'm out.